Welcome to Spenelli Speaks. Hello everyone. I could not be more excited for today's video. As you can clearly see in the description, I have a ginormous, humongous haul. It's so big. I'm so excited. I had two separate weekends where I went with my mom, who is also a awesome thrifter, and we hit up like 7 thrift stores up in my area. And then this past weekend we went to a brand new St. Vincent de Paul, and it's the biggest I've ever seen. The book room was so big. I ended up getting 33 books just from that St. Vinny's. I additionally, from the 7 that I visited before, got 33 books. I have 66 books, and guys, I paid probably $70. On average, I paid $1.11 per book. I am like, OMG. And these books are solid. Like, I am thrilled, through the roof, over the moon about these books. I can't wait to show you. Now, because there are so many, I didn't want to just like pull out of the box and show you. I did sort them so that they're kind of in somewhat certain categories, but you know, I'm not good at categories, so it's just kind of a roundabout general category. I'm super excited. I hope you pause this right now, go grab a cup of tea, and come back, tuck in, because I have a feeling that this one's going to be a little bit of a long one. And as you know, I do not read the back of these books when I pick them up. I pick them up either because I've heard of them, because I like the cover, or I have read them and want to have them for my own collection. So let's get started. Okay, so the first pile that I'm going to talk to you about is a pile that was gifted to me, and then also I am borrowing, which may turn into being gifted because that's how I roll. So 2 books that my mom has lent me to read for the time being. I might end up casually keeping them, but we'll see. Is this middle grade book. It is a Sherlock Holmes in A Study in Scarlet. So this is a middle grade version of Sherlock Holmes. My mom knows how much I love Sherlock Holmes and those stories, so this is a middle grade book. I'm trying to show you that there's illustrations. So that's going to be really fun. It's really neat cover and everything. I'm not sure if the inside, the inside, there's like, I don't know if you can see on here, but there's like a little magnifying glass. And then the inside of it is like an old booky kind of cover, but this will be really interesting. I'll probably read this sometime soon. So that's the first book that I am borrowing. And then the second one is 13 Rue Thérèse. I'm sorry if I'm pronouncing that wrong. She saw this at a thrift store, and I really liked the cover, and I was like, ooh, get that one. So I'm borrowing this one, and it has like pictures and stuff in it, and I did end up reading the back of the book once I was opening it, and I was like, what is all of this? And it's so it is Trevor Stratton is an American professor and translator newly arrived at a Paris university. There in his office, he discovers a box filled with letters, photographs, and antique objects. A beautiful pair of gloves, a rosary, and a silk scarf. Whose life is preserved here, and who has left this mystery for him to find? So that sounds super interesting. I love that there's actual like artifacts within the book. It's like this, I've never read anything like this, so I'm excited to read that and perhaps give it back. Then my stepdad knows how much I like Dan Brown, which, yes, Scott and Nell, I really like Dan Brown. And he found these awesome editions. They are illustrated editions of the Da Vinci Code. So it is the novel, so you read the novel as it's written, but then it has the illustrations that go along with what the book is talking about, which is fascinating to me. I'm really excited to dive into these and reread those with the illustrations that go along. And he also found Angels and Demons. So there are illustrated versions of the other books as well, but I just have these first two. So he gifted that to me, so I'm very excited for that, and excited to dive into those, because that whole series is very fascinating to me. I know that the story is kind of the same in each book, but I just love it. I just love the historical and religious undertones, and it's just like, oh, it's so amazing. So on to my 66 books. So I think my first pile that I'm going to go to is this one, which I didn't really know what to call, but I am missing Blood Brothers, which is a Nora Roberts book. I've read this before, so when I saw it, it's in mint condition. I mean, no creases in the binding, and I was like, I need to get this for my collection because somehow I'm missing it and I don't know where it went. 99 cents. So that is definitely going to go right onto my shelf where it belongs. Then this one I just picked up for nostalgic purposes. I'm not quite sure if I've read it, but it's V.C. Andrews' Shooting Stars, and this is the Falling Stars collection. I'm not sure if I've read this when I was a kid, but I used to just devour V.C. Andrew books, and I was like, oh, I should just get this and read it and just be back in that mindset and just feel how I felt when I was a kid. 49 cents. Start my little reorganization pile. Then this one was super fun, and with Jane Austen July coming up, I was like, oh my gosh, I have to get this. I love retellings. I love like fantasy retellings. Mr. Darcy's Bite. So this looks like it is a Pride and Prejudice retelling, but with werewolves. I haven't read the back here, but I mean, come on, how can you not buy this? Especially when it was 99 cents. So I may pick this up next month during Jane Austen July, because I think it's one of the prompts to read like a retelling. So this one should be interesting and probably a pretty quick read. Okay, next pile. Let's go with the historical fiction. So I really enjoy reading about British history and all of that kind of stuff. And I'm not quite sure if this is fiction or nonfiction. I'm guessing it's fiction, but I found this book here. It's called Elizabeth, The Struggle for the Throne. So this is a book about Elizabeth I. I didn't really read the back. Again, I don't know why I keep repeating that. You guys know I never read the backs of books. But this was $1.19 at that new St. Vinny's. And again, it's in really great condition. I love that in this, there are pieces in the book that have like actual photographs and pictures of the time and portraits of the people that they are discussing. So that to me, I will sit here and when I'm reading this, I will stare at all these pictures. So I'm really excited for this. This should be a good read. Additionally, I found at that same St. Vincent de Paul for $1.09, Mistress of the Monarchy, which is the life of Catherine Cineford, Duchess of Lancaster by Alison Weir. I'm really excited for this. This cover caught me right away, and then I was like, ooh, a historical fiction. I'm super excited. Again, $1.09, so you can't pass that up. Then I found this one, which I like reading wartime novels as well, especially World War II, but especially within Germany, because I think that's a really fascinating aspect of the war. A lot of people forget that there are human people, of course, there are people living in Germany during the war who might not have been supporters of Hitler and had to live through a war, their neighborhoods being bombed and all that stuff. And we see that in Marcus Zuzak's The Book Thief, In the Eyes of a Little Girl, but here I found In the Garden of Beasts, an Eric Larson novel, and I'm not quite sure if this is fiction or nonfiction. Again, I haven't looked at any of these things, but again, this cover totally caught my eye, and you know, it has the Nazi symbol here, and I was like, okay, I would like to read this, because from what I understand, this is an American family living in Germany during World War II. So that to me is fascinating, and I would really like to learn more. So I picked that one up. Oh, Danny, how much was that? $1.19. Okay, then at a St. Vincent de Paul here where I live, I found this little guy. It's super small. It's the Kitchen Boy, a novel of the last Tsar, which I am obsessed with the Romanovs. That ever since I was a kid and I saw that movie Anastasia and found out that that was like based on like a real thing, a real family, I was really interested in learning more. And from what I hear, this is a really good atmospheric book, and you really get drawn into the head of this little boy. So I'm really excited to read this. It was $1, so I'm really excited for that one. I might read that one sooner rather than later. And then the last one that I kind of categorized as historical fiction is Galileo's Daughter. I love reading things like this. I don't know why, it just seems like so interesting to me to get into the headspace of people from our history, and this kind of perspective of not being the actual person but being someone that was very close to that historical figure is really intriguing to me. So I had to pick this one up. Again, I'm not quite sure what it's all about. She looks like she's dressed like a nun, so I'm not quite sure about that. But this was 99 cents. I couldn't pass it up. So that is going to be another great find. Okay, what next? Let's go to what I categorized as literary fiction. So first one on there is Alice Walker's The Color Purple. So I have never read this, and I have wanted to. I've not seen the movie either, but obviously it's critically acclaimed. So I'm really interested in reading this. It's always been like on my, you know, back end TBR of, hey, this is probably a book that you really need to read. And it was $1.09. It's in great condition. I'm excited for that. It looks like it could potentially be an easy read. It's very interesting. Now that I'm just pulling through this, there's like Mr. and then there's a line. I wonder what that's all about. Oh, now I'm intrigued. Now I'm intrigued. Okay, so there's The Color Purple. Then Sherman Alexie. I saw him speak a couple years ago, him along with Margaret Atwood. I studied a little bit of Sherman Alexie when I was in school. I had a Native American studies class, and we read Flight, and then there was another one, and I can't remember what it was called, but this one's called War Dances, and I really enjoy his writing style, and I enjoy the information that is provided and the perspective of young Native American people in our modern world. I think it's very important to have that understanding. The thing that I didn't realize once I got home and was like going through there's a ton of underlining. Like when I say a ton, I mean this whole page. You can see writing and underlining, which I hate. I can't stand that. But I'm guessing that this person probably was in a class, because my copy of Flight, I underlined and wrote all over that in pen, people, in pen. I totally defaced that book. So I'm going to go ahead and give a pass for this person, and I'm going to go ahead and keep it. And I got this for $1.09. So I'm excited about that. Next one that I'm considering a literary fiction is The Pilot's Wife. I picked this up because I think I know somebody who read this in a book club of theirs and said it was really good. So I'm really interested in reading this one. I'm not quite sure what it's about, but hey, it sounded good. And it was $1.09, so why not, right? Then I believe Linda over at Linda's Book World. Oh, I'm so bad. I should probably have looked it up. I'll kind of put it down here. Her and I were kind of chatting. She is reading The Red Tent, and I said, oh man, I was at a bunch of thrift stores and I saw that, and I didn't end up picking it up. because when I was there, it was a little bit more. It was like $3 or something, and everywhere I saw it was like in the $3 range. And if you guys know me well enough, I don't pay for more than $2 for a book, which is ridiculous, but hey, 66 books. And then so when I went to this new St. Vincent de Paul, I found it for $1.09. So I was like, perfect condition. I'm going to go ahead and get this. She says it's really good, so I don't know what it's about, but I've been seeing it everywhere, and the cover is beautiful, so I'm going to go ahead and take a chance on that too and read that one. Then the next one here, Snow Falling on Cedars. I remember when this movie came out, and I didn't see it. I was a youngin' back then. For 99 cents, it's on my shelf. So that'll be something interesting to read. Then this one. This was really a cover buy. I found it in like a classic section of a St. Vincent de Paul, but this is, it looks like 4 novellas and 2 stories, and it's called The Last Worthless Evening. That title to me just totally caught my eye. If anyone has read anything by this author, André Dubois, let me know. It was a cover buy, and the title really drew me in. So for 99 cents, I'm going to go ahead and pick this puppy up. So there we go. Next one that I put into literary fiction, might not actually apply, but whatever, was Alice Munro's Friend of My Youth. I have another book of Alice Munro's, and I'm not going to look for it now, but I know I have it. I think it's The Beggar Maid or something like that I had to read for school. It's a similar kind of cover to this, and for me, I was just like, it'd be nice to have another book by the same author in the same style of cover. So I picked this up. I really like it. It's really pretty, and for 49 cents, why not? So that's another one that I got. So let's move on to the category of just fiction stuff. I didn't really know what to put this in, but we're just going to call it fiction, like maybe contemporary. So the first one in that was The Mistress of Spices. This cover just totally caught me. I thought it was really pretty, and this was $1.09. Great condition. Then this book here, I did not read the back of, The Heirloom Murders. I just thought it was interesting. I swear I had seen this on some other person's booktube channel, and I was like, this book is in perfect condition. And then when I was talking to Laura at Book Bubbler, she's like, oh yeah, I know that person. And I was like, what? So through friends, she knows this author. And then, of course, I didn't even look at the back. But yeah, as collections curator for Old World, Wisconsin, it's a Wisconsin book. I've been to Old World, Wisconsin. I'm so excited. So this, sometimes I just like doink. You really need to read the backs of these books, Danny, but I just can't help myself. It takes more time for me to look for books at thrift stores. If I just take them by their covers, then I end up finding these diamonds in the rough. Come on. That's awesome. So this is a cozy mystery, I'm assuming, because it's got this scythe on the cover, and it says murders. So I'm excited. Cozy mystery. That's what I'm excited about for sure. Then some other cozy mysteries, I'm assuming, and I've been hearing about these all over BookTube. Some people have been talking about these Thursday Next novels. I really just picked them up because I'm like, oh, there's books on these covers. So this one is The Eyre Affair. This is a Jasper Fforde book. And I'm like, oh, this is interesting. And then I'm like, oh, it's a Thursday Next novel. I've heard that before. And then I found this one, which is called Lost in a Good Book. Again, I love books about books. So again, it says a Thursday Next novel. So I've never read anything by Jasper Fforde, so I'm excited about those two. And they were 99 cents a piece. So again, why not? It's $1. Then I've been seeing a lot of Ruth Ware out on BookTube. Now, I'm not a big horror fiction reader, but I've been seeing this a lot, so I'm like, I should really try and see. And for 99 cents, I don't know why not. So, got Ruth Ware. And then last one, oh no, there's more. Oh my gosh. So another 99-cent book, Running with Scissors. I remember when this movie came out. I didn't see the movie, but I just remember it being kind of a big deal. Oh, this is a memoir. Okay, so this should have been in my nonfiction pile. So 99 cents for this lovely memoir. I remember it was kind of a big deal, so I'm interested in reading that one as well. Okay, so more on my contemporary weird pile. I found Molokai, which I've seen on a few booktubers channels, and I'm not quite sure whose. Again, I should be probably writing that kind of stuff down, but I heard some good stuff about this. So when I saw it, and it's in perfect condition, no, creasing on the binding, and for 99 cents, you can't go wrong. Then, if you are watching me, you know that this month I, for my book club, read Simplicity of Cider by Amy Reichert. Well, I found one of her books. It's Luck, Love, and Lemon Pie by Amy Reichert. And guess what? It's a signed copy. So I don't know how you can pass up getting a signed copy of a book. And this is a Wisconsin writer, so that's even better. And for $1.09 for a signed copy of a book, you bet your bottom dollar I'm going to do that. I'm going to use that bottom dollar. That's so weird. Then I have not read anything from this author. This book looks like it's never been read. It's in perfect condition. For 99 cents, I got The Plague Dogs. This is the same author that did Watership Down, which I've seen on Netflix. I've not watched the series. It has rabbits in it. I don't know. But this author must write about characters that are animals. So it's something different. I don't typically read from this, but again, when I see something and it's a perfect condition book and it's an author I recognize and it's 99 cents, it's going in my cart. Then another mint condition book for 99 cents. I have Extremely Loud and Incredibly Close. Now, I know I'm not going to be able to read this in the near future. For me, I know this book is about 9/11 and it's about a little boy. And for me, because I lived through that and I remember everything about that day, this to me is too close to home. And I know it happened literally next year, it'll be 20 years ago. It's still like, I remember that day like it was yesterday. And it's not the same as reading books that are set in, like World War II or the Civil War, anything like that, because you're so apart from it. But this being something that is so close to home, and it's like, I feel like my heart would be pulled out of me and would be pumping and just thrown across the room if I read this book right now. So I think I just need to be in a better mental space and be ready to read this book. But I've heard very good things about this. I'm excited that I have such a beautiful, nice copy. I love this. I mean, it's so beautiful, and I'm sure the story is beautiful as well. I just know that it would be too much for me to read, knowing that this is something that happened in my lifetime. So I'm going to go ahead and put that aside, but really excited. It's a beautiful copy for 99 cents. Okay, last in that pile of my literary whatever, or contemporary, Bee Season. The only reason why I got this book is because it looks like a tattered book. But the book isn't actually tattered, but it's like printed on there like a tattered book. I have no idea what this is about, but I was like, I like this cover, and for 99 cents, I'll go ahead and give it a try. If you've read Bee Season, let me know if it was any good. Okay, let's move on to my nonfiction pile. So this is a really small pile because I don't typically read a lot of nonfiction, but I found the Da Vinci Code, Fact or Fiction, a critique of the novel. For 59 cents, it's really tiny, and I thought it would be interesting to go along with my Da Vinci Code rereads. Then I found The Glass Castle. I believe this is a memoir, and I've heard a lot of people that have read this have enjoyed it, so I wanted to pick this one up. It's a little tattered on the top, but I'm okay with that because I got it for $1.19, so that's okay with me. Then I have a book that I didn't really think I would ever pick this up. normally. It's Aziz Ansari's modern romance. So from what I understand, this is a nonfiction about dating in our world of technology. And he's a really interesting person. I think his comedy is very new age and totally speaks to, you know, the millennial generation. Not really me. I don't really consider myself a true millennial. I'm like an elder millennial where I like love the nostalgia stuff, but everything else, like I'm old crotchety lady. So I do appreciate his comedy. I've watched a couple of his shows, and I figure, you know, for having a slight interest and the book being 87 cents, I sure as heck is going to pick it up because it's in perfect condition. So that's another one that I will put on my shelf and try at another time. That was all those. Now on to the classics. This is quite a large pile. I considered this one The Never-Ending Story, a classic. It's got a little bit of water damage, but for $1.49, I've not ever seen this out in thrift stores. But I mean, other than the little bit of water damage, it's in really good condition. Like no really creases in the binding here. And I've never read this. I've seen the movie ages ago, like when I was really small, but I would love to actually read the story. So that was a really great find. I was excited about that. Love in the Time of Cholera. Now, I have been trying to pick this up ever since I read The Secret Garden, because in the beginning of Secret Garden, they're living in India and it's during the time of cholera, and it kind of brought back in my mind, I'm like, oh yeah, there's that book. And every time I've seen it out at the thrift stores, it's been like $5, and I'm like, I really just can't. I just don't want to spend that kind of money on a book. Well, I found it for $1.09, so now I am able to bring that onto my reading list. So I'm super excited about that. It's in wonderful condition. You can't ask for anything better. So I'm excited about that. This one, I have never seen this out at thrift stores. I've never seen the book in regular stores. And I was super thrilled to find it because I've heard of this so many times. Jacob's Ladder. We use it as a phrase in our conversations, those of us who know what it means. I never knew what it meant, but I've heard it several times. This is a Civil War novel. I am super excited to read this. Now, it is a chunkster and the words are tiny. This is probably the smallest I've ever seen in a book. And for $1.49, I had to pick it up. The only Civil War book I think I've read is The Red Badge of Courage, and I loved that book. That's Stephen Crane. Loved it. Loved it. So I'm really excited to be able to read another book that is Civil War centered, and I'm really excited about this one. This was a really great find. Then I have, speaking of Secret Garden, I found The Little Princess. I have not read The Little Princess. It has been, quoted in a couple of books I've read recently, like Page and Company's The Book Wanderers. And this was originally $1.99 at the Goodwill, but it was green sticker day, so I got it for half off. So I only paid $1, which is way more up my alley. But it's a beautiful little copy. It's illustrated by the same illustrator that did my other version of Secret Garden, because that's the same author. And yeah, I'm just really excited. This is a really nice copy. I'm excited to read that. Maybe for middle grade March next year. Then, super excited, really great edition of Robin Hood. And again, green sticker, so it was $1.99, but I got it for $1. I've not ever read Robin Hood. This is a really great edition. I can feel like this book has never been actually opened because it's pretty stiff yet. I mean, that's awesome. Like, brand new books. I mean, who buys books, never reads them, and then gives them away at a thrift store? Oh, you know what? Thank you. Thank you to all those people that are out there giving away their brand new books because they go on my shelves, and then I will read them and then keep them forever because I'm a crazy person who never gets rid of her books. Excuse for my slight drinky do. It's tea. It's nothing bad. Then for 75 cents, because green sticker off of $1.49 is $74, Shakespeare, Taming of the Shrew. This is probably my favorite Shakespeare play. I love Kate, and I believe that's her name. I think it's Kate. I don't know. Yes, Kate. She is such a witch, and I related so much to her. When I first read this back in high school, I was like, that's me. That is going to be me when I grow up. It's just, that's how I was. My headspace at that time, you know, you're a hormonal teenager, you hate everything. And I was like, yep, I'm a shrew. I'm going to be a shrew when I grow up. And I just love her character. I don't like how she's like manhandled basically to become a better person. But regardless, I think they both learn a little. I think she learns more. But anywho, this was my favorite play for Shakespeare. So I picked that up. It was a great buy. This next one, 49 cents. A Raisin in the Sun. I loved this play. It was so good. And I know you're all like, hey, isn't that the cover for the play? Yes. And I typically do not like to have like movie covers or whatever on things, but because this is the play, and it's the play, and I love Sidney Poitier. Oh my gosh, I adore him. Oh, he is an amazing actor. He's so good. I love him and everything he's ever done. So this play is just so, it rips your heart out. It's so good. I love this. So I was really excited to find this, and for 49 cents, you just can't walk away from it. I loved this. It was so good. So I was really excited to find that. Then I found this really odd edition of The Wizard of Oz, which I don't think ever read Wizard of Oz, and I don't own it. And for 99 cents, I was like, okay, it's kind of a weird edition, but I'll take it. It's like Puffin and Pantone, which I think Pantone is like a color company, but whatever. It's mine now. It has illustrations in it. I'll read it, whatever. So that was nice, 99-cent buy. Then Catch-22. I have not ever read Catch-22. Again, another phrase we freely use in our conversations every day, but I've never actually read the book. I know what Catch-22 means, but I've never read the book. So for $1.49, I had to pick it up. Side note, this is another one of those books that is like super heavy. Like, why is this so heavy? Has anyone figured that out yet? Like, is it the paper? Like, is it the kind of paper they use? I mean, it's so heavy. I don't understand. But anywho, I got that, and I'm excited to read that. Okay, next one was $1.09. It is Pan by Knut Hamsun. I don't know why I try to pronounce names that I don't know how to say. It makes me look like a fool. But really small. I think this is like Pan, you know, we know Pan in like, Pan is in Midsummer Night Dream, right? And then Pan is also in, he's like a mythological character, is he not? So maybe this is where he was born. I'm not quite sure, but I bought it because it was $1.09, and it is one of the Penguin classics, which I like to pick up anytime I see because clearly it's a notable book. So I picked that one up. Then, I was really excited to find this one. $1.75, so I splurged, but it's because it was Kafka. I love Kafka. So I read The Trial, which is so, I mean, I'm going to have to reread that because it just blows your mind. It's so, the entire story is completely ambiguous and you're just like, what is happening? And it's crazy. So this is The Metamorphosis and Other Stories by Franz Kafka. He is a German writer, and I'm really excited to read more of his work because I was just blown away by The Trial. So I was really excited to find that, and will be excited to read that sometime soon. Then, of course, I have read bits and pieces of this in school, and I saw the movie, played a movie or movie version, but The Diary of Anne Frank, Diary of a Young Girl by Anne Frank. This was $1.49 at Goodwill, and it's in really great condition. I really want to read this. Again, World War II fascinates me, but like people living you know, and this, I mean, this is like a must read. And I know I've read bits and pieces of it in school, but we never were required to read the entire thing. I'm going to make that a TBR for sure. Really would like to read that soon. Then another classic for 99 cents. Les Liaisons Dangeresses, whatever. Dangerous Liaisons is basically what this is called. This is translated from French. I'm excited for this because I did read the back of this because I'm like, is this, because I had to see, like, is this going to be, is it translated? And it says, the complex moral ambiguities of seduction and revenge make Les Liaisons Dangereuses, whatever. 1782 was when this was done. One of the most scandalous and controversial novels in European literature. So I am really excited to see how controversial probably like touching someone's face is gonna be. Like, I can't imagine them actually doing anything, like, unless they do. Ooh, that'll be spicy. So I'm excited for that, for a classic that's supposedly scandalous. Then, again, for 99 cents, I found A Man for All Seasons. This is about Thomas More and his time with Henry VIII. This is a play. I've never seen this before, but I'm fascinated by English history, and especially Henry VIII and all of his ridiculousness. Off with his head! So, yeah, I'm excited for this. This will be interesting. Then I think the best find that I got for classics, because I have never heard of this one before, and it's a trilogy, so there's 3 of them, and I found all of them, all in really great condition, all for 99 cents. It is the Kristen Lavransdatter. So the first one is called The Wreath. The second one's called The Wife, and the third one's called The Cross. But this is a Norway classic, and the covers are really, really pretty. I'm super excited about these. I like picked them up, I'm like, ooh, Penguin Classics, and it's like a trilogy. Like, I've never seen that before, a classic to have like a trilogy like that. I mean, Lord of the Rings, but I think that was actually published as a full book, and then it kind of was reverted into the trilogy. But I'm really excited about this. This is probably going to be a pretty soon kind of reading. Like, I want to do that. So that is awesome. So that was all the classics that I found. Now I'm going to talk to you a little bit about like middle grade books and children's books. The first one is this Arthur, book 1, The Seeing Stone. So this is a middle grade book. I got it for 87 cents. I'm excited to read this. I really like Arthur and all of that. I read Deception, the Guinevere Deception earlier this year, and I really just like Arthur stories, so I'm excited for this one. It's in really great condition. It'll be a fast read as it is a middle grade book, so that'll be fun to read. This book looks so good. So this is called Emmy and the Incredible Shrinking Rat. That is so cool. The little rat is just falling. Fall. I'm excited to read this. This is a middle grade. If you've read this, let me know. Then I guess like maybe middle grade to young adult, Book of Ember, or The City of Ember. I have seen the movie, but ages ago, so I don't really recall everything. I just know I think it's like about a city underground and there's a girl in it. 87 cents, really great condition. I'm excited to read that as well. Then this one, I have seen this all over Booktube and in Goodreads. The One and Only Ivan. I've heard that I have to bring my tissues with me. 87 cents. I'm really excited to read this one. It's on my Goodreads TBR, and looking at it, this will probably be a couple hours and be done. It looks like a really fast read, but this looks super cute, so I was glad to find that. Then I found this one, and I think it's probably young adult, but it's a retelling. I like retellings, and I'm assuming it's a retelling of Beauty and the Beast. But the reason why I picked this one up even more so is, one, it's like that hardcover-y book stuff. I love those kinds of books. But in the inside, there's a a little inscription here, and it says, Jay, lots of love and hugs, Uncle Bob and Aunt Judy. It was literally given to this person Christmas of last year. Man, you didn't hold on to that for very long. So I was like, well, I'll go ahead and take it. And for $1.09, I'll go ahead and try that. If I don't like it, I will pass it along to someone else. Now for some children's books that I'm really excited that I found. I think they're so wonderful. I found a hardcover Return to 100 Acre Woods, which is Winnie the Pooh. It was $1.20. The back is a little messed up, but I can go ahead and tape that up. I do believe this is a UK version because the cost on the back is in pounds. But I'm just like, oh, it's so nice. It does have to be cleaned up a little bit, but I'm really excited for this one. It was super cute find. Then, oh my gosh, for 59 cents, I found The World of Pooh, the complete Winnie the Pooh and the House at Pooh Corner. And it's like, this was published in 1958, I think is what I saw inside. I mean, beautiful. I'm so excited. This is going to be wonderful. So for 59 cents, I just couldn't walk away from that. Then I also found The World of Christopher Robin. I have not ever experienced this. I've never seen anything like this. So this includes, you know, stories for Christopher Robin. I mean, oh. And this one was $1.19, so a little bit more than the other one, but oh, I'm so excited about this. Just beautiful illustrations, and yeah, oh, this is gonna be so nice. Then the one that I splurged on, I paid $2.75. This is the most I've ever paid for a book at a thrift store, but it's The Great Big Treasury of Beatrix Potter. I'm really excited. It has a ton of her stories in here. It's in really great condition. I just couldn't walk away from it. I just had to pick it up. I'm kind of slowly collecting like children's books for my someday children, and I was super pleased with this. It's in great condition, and I guess I can splurge on $2.75. Ooh, I know you guys have been here forever, and I'm so sorry, but amazing books, and I've saved the best for last. These are the books that I considered my OMG finds. Like, I cannot believe I found these for the price that I found them for. And the ones that I was like, I'm really excited about these. Now, the first two are books that I picked up for my fiance and my soon-to-be stepdaughter. So they're not like great finds, but I forgot about these, so oops. Beautiful Darkness, which is part of that Beautiful Creatures novel. I brought this home and she's like, you already gave that to me. So this will go on my wedding pile. It was 87 cents, so not a huge disappointment. Excuse me. And then for my fiance, I found this funny book. It's the Zombie Survival Guide. He'll have fun with this. It was 87 cents. I couldn't help myself. Okay, now back to the regular programming. These books, I was like, oh, yeah, this is what it's all about. Now, I have not read any of Robert Jordan, but I found the first book in Wheel of Time. It is never been touched. It is in perfect condition. OMG. You don't let these things just sit on the shelf. You take it off and you say, this is mine now. For 99 cents. I cannot believe I found this. I'm so excited. Now I have a reason to read these books. Then, purely a cover buy, I found this beautiful book. I mean, what is this all about? So it's a hardcover. I don't typically buy hardcovers. I typically buy all paperback. So I'm like, I really need to really feel like I can buy this book. So I was like, I'll look and see what this is about. And in the inside, I read London, 1893. That's all I need to know. So super, super pleased with this one. Darn camera died. I need to hurry up and get done with this. So I have 4 books left, I promise. Again, so we are still looking at the best buys of the whole excursion. For $1.50, I found Dorothy Must Die, which is one of my book club books. I was super excited. It's in great condition. I mean, no binding cracks, nothing. So excited to have found that. This is our book club book for October. So I'm excited that I don't have to try to find this on Hoopla or with my library. Now I own it. I'm excited. So that was a great find. Then I have been looking for this book forever and just never found one for the price that I'm looking for. I found Twilight for 99 cents. There's a little bit of cracking on the binding, but finally my collection is complete. Oh my God, it's not the movie cover. I couldn't have been more excited. I geeked out in the aisle. People were looking at me really weird, but I was so excited to have found. Oh, so excited. Then, a little bit of a splurge because I paid $2 for this book, but mint condition, The Princess Bride. Now, if you recall, I was supposed to read this book back in November and didn't because I got too many TBRs on there. But this is a UK version because it's got pounds here. It's from Bloomsbury. Oh my gosh. Isn't this a beautiful cover, like this black and white, and it's like silver print? I'm so excited. I mean, this has not been read. No one's touched this book. I could not leave this on the shelf. I was so excited. I'm really excited for that. And then the book that I am most excited about, because I have been wanting to read this for the longest time, and every time I go anywhere, it's kind of expensive. But for $1.19, I found The Mists of Avalon. Oh my God, I'm so excited. I'm so excited. I totally geeked out. Now, there's a little bit of warping, but once this baby is on my shelf, it's going to be taken care of and loved. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited to read this. I have been wanting to read this since TNT put out a miniseries, and that was back in the early 2000s. Oh my goodness, I'm so excited to read this. I'm so excited. That's it, guys. 66 books. And I did the math. It cost me $70, which when you divide that out, it is $1.11 per book. You cannot beat that. That's amazing. That's amazing. I'm so happy, especially for the books that I found. I mean, these aren't just books where I'm like, oh, maybe, oh, maybe, oh. These are books that are like legit books. I'm so excited about everything that I found. If you have read any of these books, let me know what your thoughts are. I don't think I've read many of these. There are some that are for my collection, but most of these are going to be books you're going to see on my TBR coming up in the next year, and I'm super excited. This also means I get to reorganize my bookshelves again because I have to fit 66 books on my shelves. Woo! I am getting excited. If you have made it this far, bless your soul. You are amazing. True friends. Oh my goodness. Put a little book emoji in your comments and I will give you lots and lots of love. So I'm going to cut it right there. You have watched me for far too long, but thank you. Thank you. I love you so much. Thank you for watching. And until next time, you know how it goes. Happy reading. Bye.